How's it going, everybody? So balance changes are here, and we've got some weird ones this time that I want to talk about. Basically, you guys know I really like to talk about the balance changes. And first off, I built this deck with all the cards that are getting a nerf, and of course a couple of other cards just to kind of fill out a deck and make a deck that would make sense with them, of course. But we have number one. Oh yeah, I also put in a few cards that I think might need a nerf and aren't getting talked about, which is Evo MK. I know you mid-ladder menaces can agree with me, and I was thinking about putting in Prince, but it didn't fit in this deck. I also think Prince needs a nerf pretty badly, while we're on the nerf topic. But the first card getting a nerf here today is the arrows. So the arrows, we'll talk about the arrows and the log in the same boat, because they're both just getting a huge tower reduction, tower damage reduction. It doesn't change their cost, doesn't change their damage to troops. It only changes their damage on the tower. So, you know, it's a very weird change to me for the arrows specifically, because the problem with the arrows is that the range is way too high, and you can hit pretty much anything on the map, it feels like, at so many different times. It's very hard to miss arrows in a lot of different circumstances, and they get a lot of value just because of that aspect of ease to play, right? So the arrows one, I don't know why they're nerfing just the damage. I mean, if you're going to nerf the damage of spells, then you probably want to go ahead and nerf the damage of the spells of pretty much all the spells and kind of keep them even, because I don't believe that making a spell less damage is the way to make it worse than another one. You know what I mean? If it's the same elixir, I don't know. The log nerf for sure is kind of weird. Obviously, log is a super popular, probably the most popular consistent small spell always, but there's a reason for that, right? Like, it has very good synergy with everything. Snowball doesn't really have synergy with a lot of decks, and the other small spells like Barb Barrel, and I mean Rage is good, but it doesn't take out, you know, Princess or Dark Goblin. Same with Snowball. So that's the reason why the log is so much better than those, and for 2 elixir. And even though it only hits ground, there's not enough air troops in the game that you have to worry about, you know, just like having the log in your deck. Even if you face Lava Hound, log's still going to be fine. You're not going to be at the end of the world disadvantage, because, you know, log always gets value. So I think it's an okay nerf, but I don't love the way they are nerfing it, I guess, if that makes sense. They could definitely do some different things with it, but I'm just gonna, you know, not to be mad about that one, because log is a very good small spell, but I don't think they're going about it the right way. I think it'll still be pretty popular, just a little bit less used, maybe even quite a bit less used. But yeah, those are the first 2 cards. Oh, we're already gonna 3-crown this guy, so let me go to the next match and talk about these next 2 nerfs that are in the game, or about to be in the game probably here. Now, our other 2 nerfs in the game, I like how we 3-crowned that guy in literally 2 minutes, but our other 2 nerfs in the game right here, or in the work in progress balance changes, are going to be the cannon. So the regular base cannon, nothing with the evolution, no stats with the Evo are getting changed besides the base stats of the normal cannon, so it will affect the Evo, I guess, if you think about it like that. But the damage and the hit points are getting reduced, which, you know, honestly, for 3 elixir, cannon is very, very, very overpowered right now. Definitely the #1 building in the game, and it's not even close either. There's no building that's like anywhere near that usage. We obviously know, you know, a couple buildings are probably the worst in the game right now, if you want to think about like maybe Bomb Tower and Tesla, of course spawners, but nobody wants spawners. Okay, let's be real, we do not want a spawner meta again ever, if we're just gonna be honest with ourselves. But yeah, the cannon's getting nerfed. It definitely needs one. I hope it's enough. I don't know, because 3 elixir is still very cheap for the cost and for how much value it gets. They did, you know, maybe, you know, to be fair, it does kind of take down the HP a bit, so it will die off the map a bit quicker. So I guess that's a positive for sure, but I'm not too sure. We're gonna have to wait and see until the cannon actually gets updated, if it's going to be enough of a nerf, or if the card will need another one. I don't know. It's gonna be one of those cards where it's hard to nerf at a correct rate and not do too much or too little, for sure. And I guess 4th nerf of the changes that we did get to see in the work in progress changes is the rage spell. So this goes for the lumberjack, which is also why I'm playing lumberjack as well, if you hadn't picked that one up yet. But the lumberjack, so basically, or not the lumberjack, the rage is going from a 2-second duration to 1 second, I believe. Yeah, 1 second, which is absolutely ridiculous. In my opinion, it's going to be terrible. I don't think anyone's going to use the rage for 1 second, really. And that also applies to the evolved lumberjack, right? So the wave of rage, as you can see right there, it does last quite a long time. I agree with the nerf, but I believe it should be half a second less. I don't know about taking it down half of its entire duration. That is kind of insanity if you think about it, but I don't know. We're gonna have to see. Oh, I meant to arrows that, not firecracker. Let's not talk about that firecracker, guys. But anyways, it's going to be definitely an interesting card. I don't know if it's going to be utilized as much. I guess maybe they just wanted to nerf the Evil Lumberjack again. But I don't know if that's the way to do it, bro. Maybe you could have just made the Lumberjack Evo specifically a little bit worse with one of its stats or something. I don't know. But I don't know. It's a hard game to balance, all right, at the end of the day. So the balance team, the balance team definitely trying. With the nerfs overall, I'm going to be honest, they did kind of... The only one that I really liked was the cannon. The cannon needs a nerf for sure. They missed out on Prince. I hope they add a bunch more before the changes are finalized, because we need a Prince nerf. We need a couple other cards, maybe Evolution Valkyrie with how strong it is in the meta at the moment. Maybe a few other cards. Goblinstein HP is still ridiculous. Little Prince, Rune Giant. Not Little Prince specifically, but Little Prince with the Rune Giant. But yeah, that's my thoughts on nerfs. Now we're moving on to our all buff deck right here. Well, not all buffs because there's only a few. This is also going to be buffs / reworks. So the Void spell, we can start off with the reworks. I think that'll be a good thing to start off with. The Void spell is getting reworked to make its hits faster. So basically the first Void comes down and then there's that 1.3 seconds, I believe, before the second one. Now it's going to be just 1 second, which is interesting. Not a, Void, I agree that Void needs a buff or a rework of some sort because it is trash completely. Nobody uses it, 0% usage. I haven't seen Void since it got nerfed, but they did overkill it, and it was for good reason though at the time. If you remember back to that Void meta, it was absolutely like every single deck in every archetype was running it. Sort of similar to the Goblinstein, right? But yeah, I think this is a decent change. I like the change. Maybe they're going to make it a little bit more viable with its ability to take off troops off the map quicker. And I get the idea behind it. So I like this buff or a rework. It's technically called a rework, but that's a buff in my opinion. Like, how would that just be a rework? But anyways, this is one I am very excited about. So we have a Princess rework. It is going to shoot faster on the first hit, but its deploy speed is going to be increased by, I believe, like 0.2 seconds, which might not sound like anything, but what does that mean? No, it's a lot easier to react. Well, not a lot easier, but a little bit easier to react to a Princess the River. You have that little 0.2 extra seconds where you can actually get your, if you're not hovering a card, you can maybe get your card down if you have quick reactions. It's still going to take, like, look at that right there. Oh my gosh. It's still going to take quick reactions. Sorry, Princess at the Bridge makes me so angry. But I like it. I like it. They're trying to change it so you can't just cheese the river the whole game with a Princess over and over and over and over and over. And the only way to stop that being a prediction, basically. And you can't really hover and react to a Princess. They're trying to make it reactable. Does that make sense? I like that change. Very good change. Great idea. We'll see if it does anything. I don't know. It could just make it not really any difference, because think about it, only 0.2 seconds. I mean, if you have 2.2 more seconds, are you reacting to a Princess in time? Be honest with me. But yeah, those are the reworks. Hunter can't speak English apparently today. Holy cow. Don't know what's wrong with me. But anyways, those are the reworks. The buffs we have are the Electro Wizard. So it's getting a health buff, I believe, right? It was either damage or health. I already forgot because I have dementia. But Ewis, it's a mediocre card. I like the buff. We're trying to make it back in the meta. I'm down. Ewis is a fun card. It's one of my favorite legendaries for sure. I still remember playing the Ewis challenge back in the day in like 2017 or something, or 18 even. I don't know when it was. But man, it was so much fun playing that Ewis challenge. So I always have a thing for the Ewis being meta. I like that card. Oh my gosh, what arrows. That is so much value. Maybe we can come back in this game. I've just been yapping, but I'm kind of getting cooked right now. Evo Valk, like I said, might use a small nerf. That would be nice to it. But anyways, back to debuffs. What have I not talked? Oh, the snowball. Yeah, the snowball. It's getting a 3-second to a 4-second push. What is it? Pushback, I think. I don't really know. This one is kind of odd, in my opinion. I guess it just pushes back further. No, it's 4 tiles, right? Yeah, it's another tile. Okay, yeah, I was tripping. I was like, how would that make any sense? But yeah, I believe it's another tile for the snowball, which is kind of cool. Let's make the snowball better. It's one of my favorite evolutions. I think probably just if you ask anyone in the world like that's playing this game, snowball evolution's got to be one of the favorites because of so many cool plays you can make with it. It's just way too weak for the stats right now, and I do like that they're buffing it again. Even though they did buff it technically in the last changes, it didn't do anything at all. So I'm glad they were like, okay, we need to give it a little more juice. I respect that, and I'm happy that snowball's getting some love at least. Okay, nice. That's gonna be decent. I'm gonna come back. Hold on, let me lock in. I'm gonna beat this guy. I just haven't been focusing. I've been yapping, which usually, honestly, when I just yap, I play a little bit better than when I'm fully focused, believe it or not. Wait, he's dead. He has to play Goblin Gang. What prediction arrows on the Goblin Gang? Now he's dead. Yup, game. Let's go. See, all I had to do was lock in for like 10 seconds and we could build an actual push and win that game. But solid win right there. Not too shabby. Okay, I'm an idiot. Don't roast me. I just went back and looked at the changes, and it's the snowball slow duration from 3 to 4 seconds. So ignore everything I said about the snowball. It's 3 to 4 seconds on the slow duration. Now you know. But yeah, those are the changes. What now? I want to talk about things that I would like to see implemented because they're actually listening to community and creator feedback a lot more. So, why don't I voice my opinion, eh? Does that sound good to y'all? Sounds good to me. Anyways. Basically, number one, I talked about it a little bit earlier. Prince has got to get a charge speed nerf. This card is ridiculous. I've had clips where it's just charging from like a knight to another card, and then getting on tower with 1 HP, paired with the rage as well. Those two cards together are disgusting. In single elixir, especially single elixir, Prince is literally just a cheat code. Unless you have the perfect response for it, it's always going to cost more than 5 elixir to defend a card when it's on your side of the map with your tower helping. That's a problem in my opinion. I think the charge speed needs to get nerfed at least like half a tile or something, because man, it's nowhere even near balanced in my opinion. I've been saying it's needing a nerf as soon as it got buffed, but just because there were so many other broken things in the game, the Prince really wasn't getting utilized as much. Now that things are getting toned down, I knew this was going to happen. I literally called this months ago. I said as soon as this the Prince gets, or as soon as the meta gets somewhat ish balanced compared to what it was at the moment, which was just horrifically balanced and there was no structure, what was I about to say? Oh yeah, the Prince is going to get nerfed again because it just needs a nerf. So hopefully they do end up nerfing the Prince just a little bit. Don't kill it, bro. It's fine. It's still very tanky card for its HP. It does a ton of damage for 5 elixir. I mean, it's just insane on DPS, and it just charges too fast. Just make the charge a little bit less. That's all you got to do. Maybe half a tile, maybe a full tile. I'm not sure exactly what would make it better, but that's all. It's nothing crazy. Just a little change, and that's perfect for the Prince. Another card I would like to see buffed, believe it or not, I want to see the Evo Wizard buffed a little bit, just a tiny bit, because right now it's completely useless. How did I miss the Firecracker, by the way? Am I just that bad at this game? But yeah, Evo Wizard, it's just not used, maybe in a few P.E.K.K.A decks, but rarely, very rarely. And I missed that card. It's a fun card. It just, it just got too strong at the beginning, and now everyone hates it again because it was too overpowered in that 1 or 2 metas. I forgot how long it was till they nerfed it, but just pre-snowball. Wait, what the heck? He has an MK? Wait, I thought he had recruits. Am I tripping? Oh my gosh, what? That was huge. I didn't even mean to predict that, I'll be honest, but we'll take it. That's going to be tower down. But yeah, those are my 2 cards I'd really like to see. 1 nerf and 1 buff. I'll probably talk about a bunch more when the actual changes do come out of what I would like to see, but yeah, if we can see those 2 cards, I would have really liked that as well. Also, Evo Tesla, please, 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 please. It's the worst evolution in the game besides the snowball, please. I'm begging you. But they're probably not gonna buff that one, I'm gonna be honest. Just wishful thinking for me. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys did enjoy this balance change video, and see you in the next one. Peace.